How about that music cue? That was perfect. All planned also. Alright, game number 2, guys. What's up, guys? This is Mikelorus. Gonna be casting game number 2. We have on the Radiant, game number 2 between the... I'm gonna start again. What's up, guys? This is Mikelorus. Gonna be casting game number 2. We have Team Fraggots, this time on the Radiant. Caleb Give Mana is going to be playing on the Dire, though it looks like they might have forgotten their team thing, so we're just going to be without anything to read up on the top right. But that's fine. That's fine. Because they're currently up 1-0 in this best of 2, and wow, once again, going to be giffing all the mana. Looks like this time Keeper of the Light is not banned. So, do they just have to pick Keeper of the Light now? Is that something that they're obligated to do? The Crystal Maiden, I don't really want to say it worked out for them last game, because honestly, the Crystal Maiden didn't do anything. Like, it's just the fact that Tidehunter got really good Ravages off, and, you know, Razor did his job, Doom did his job once he actually, got everything together. But Crystal Maiden, she didn't do anything, so I'm not really too sure how I feel about this Crystal Maiden first pick. At the very least, you could take her later on, because, I mean, there are some pretty good heroes that are getting through the pool, although, Crystal Maiden and Jakiro, both, I would say, a little bit, questionable in the high priority slots. You could get a Jakiro later. So you want to take the heroes that are very highly prioritized, such as the Tidehunter, and to a lesser extent the Silencer, who usually does see a ban in the secondary phase of banning. It's more of a responsive ban than a first ban as far as Silencers are concerned, but picking up a Silencer versus a Tidehunter, it's a little bit hard to block a Ravage, because if this Tidehunter is going to blink in a Ravage, you gotta be damn quick with your hands, and that's really hard to do, unless you want to do it a little bit prematurely, in which case you might be screwed either way. But anyway, Silencer Crystal Maiden, we'll be interested to see how they decide to lane this one. Now, I do think that Silencer is best laned in the carry role, but kind of like how Necrophos and Pugna work in that number 1 role, they're not going to be smashing things just yet, but you get them there because they need gold, and then you just use the assets that they have. In Silencer's case, I think the best usage I've seen of him is give him the primary farm role, and then use Global Silence and, at your leisure, but go for an Aghanim Scepter, because that will almost ensure that you dominate the team fights. And Team Fraggots, they're going to try to protect themselves a little bit from that in banning out the Warlock, which is, again, another hero that I don't really think that was on the high priority list for gift mana. Brewmaster is going to be absolutely fantastic for them. Faceless Void would be another really good pickup. Just go all in on this team fight. Otherwise, Silencer, in my opinion, is a little bit of an underwhelming hero. If you let him get one too many kills, if you, take a skirmish and you go out even, but Silencer was there, things could start getting out of hand really quickly just because he will be stealing your intelligence. You don't really feel the hit of minus intelligence as much as you feel the hit of his plus intelligence when he gets his glaives up. But it still could be a very slippery road if you think you're even, but, all those skirmishes that you've taken, all those even trades, Silencer was right there watching and stealing. But it looks like Caleb Give Mana are going to shift gears just a little bit. They're going to go for a very aggressive lineup in the Undying Crystal Maiden. Two heroes that, not really seen all too often, because they're, kind of one-trick wonders. They do one thing really well, and that's be aggressive in lane. Silencer does that okay, but I don't really know how I feel about that. If they somehow get into a lane versus Jakiro, that will be fantastic for them. And I think that might be what Giff Mana are looking to do. If they lane an aggressive tri-lane, well, Tidehunter should be relatively okay. He'll have Anchor Smash to get rid of Curse of the Silent, and he'll take a lot of dots, but there's no way to avoid that. Whoever's going to be going up against this lane is going to be getting hit with all the dots in the world. Team Fraggots, let's see what kind of comp they want to go for. They first want to pick up their supports. Vengeful Spirit this time with Jakiro, instead of that Ancient Apparition, who, by the way, is still in the pool, along with that Baseless Void. So they're just going to shore up their supports first, get a little bit of roaming potential. The Vengeful Spirit Ancient Apparition worked pretty well for them last game as far as early game lockdown is concerned. Jakiro is more of a pushing-oriented hero than Ancient Apparition, especially in the early stages of the game. That Liquid Fire is absolutely brutal against towers. I would say that Jakiro Shadow Shaman is probably the best pushing support combination that you could ask for, outside of Leshracs and stuff like that, or support Pugnas, and that gets a little weird. But as far as reasonable supporty supports, Jakiro Shadow Shaman with the Serpent Wards and the Liquid Fire, they'll be able to down towers really quickly. It's still on the table technically if Team Fraggots one lane a Shadow Shaman mid. They don't know the mid matchup just yet. It could be Silencer, though. I think it actually might be Silencer with this Juggernaut pickup. Juggernaut Crystal Maiden, it's a thing. Like, that's the combination that you recommend to the people who've only played 20 games and they want to play with their friend. It's like, hey, I'll go Juggernaut, you go Crystal Maiden. I'll take all the kills, but we'll win. And you go for the lane, and it works because it's a really good lane combo, especially when you're up against the soft heroes of Vengeful Spirit Jakiro. Not as much when you're up against Tidehunter. Keep in mind that Anchor Smash does go through magic immunity because it is physical. So even if you're spinning, you will get hit. It is not a get-out-of-jail-free card, at least not in its entirety. Vengeful Spirit can also swap you back when you are spinning, so Fraggots do have a couple tools to deal with the Juggernaut, but it's another very aggressive pick from the Caleb Giff Mana side. The Juggernaut, with his Blade Fury being one of the highest damaging skills at level 1, if not the highest. I still haven't done the math if it's that, or if it's Rocket Barrage, or if it's Edict. I feel like Rocket Barrage might be it, but I'm honestly not sure. But it's one of those. It's definitely top 3. Let's say it's top 3. And if they could get a couple kills going, they could start to look to take down towers. Though they need a little bit more pushing, I would say. If they put Silencer mid, Juggernaut, and Dying Crystal Maiden, who's going to be there pushing? I mean, you can get all the kills in the world. Juggernaut pushing is okay because he has a healing ward, but there's really, aside from the Undying, no one who could really benefit from that and tank towers.
10 seconds remaining.
They've banned out the Enigma themselves. Nature's Prophet is off. Lycan is off. Razor's in the mid lane for Team Fraggots, and they ban out Keeper of the Light. There will be no giffing of mana this game. Thou shalt not giff mana. But Fraggots, they need someone who won't get completely demolished by this Razor in the middle lane. And I don't think Silencer is going to be that hero, quite honestly. He's not exactly the strongest in the lane, especially when you compare him to Razor, who is in fact one of the strongest. An Ember Spirit might not be terrible. A Clinks. They need a Clinks. They should go for a Clinks. It'll give them pushing power. It will, Clinks will have the Juggernaut and Undying to kind of hide behind, and he'll be able to, kill everything once the Global Silence gets online. That is my prediction. They lane an aggressive lane of Juggernaut, Undying, Crystal Maiden, Silencer mid lane. Clinks solo safe versus the Tidehunter is actually one of the, I would say, very few matchups that Tidehunter does very poorly in, because you do have your Anchor Smash, which will make him do not much damage if you get close to him. He's ranged. He has a lot of range, that Clinks. I think that will be an incredibly potent pickup for the Giff Mana side. Trying to think of other solo lane heroes, because they definitely want to lane this aggressively. A Kunkka wouldn't be terrible. They could go for an Elder Titan. That might not be bad either. I don't know. I definitely don't think they want another intelligence hero. They will be going up against a Tidehunter. Ranged is obviously better. Try to get that advantage over that Tide. an axe? Maybe? Yeah? I don't know. Maybe not axe. Lone Druid might also be a potential pickup for them. Huge synergy between the Druid and the Healing Ward, but instead it's going to be Viper. Is it raining again? That's thunder again? God. No, those are fireworks. Because America. USA. USA. Either that or we're under attack. I sure hope they're fireworks, because I don't want to defend the house. I haven't stretched. I have to stretch and go upstairs and get the weaponry. Get all the firearms, all my American firearms, all the cannons, you know. You guys know how it is. But the Viper pickup, a pick to go toe-to-toe with Razor. Not the best lane for Viper, though. I mean, Razor still have a pretty good edge in that lane. Viper will get the chip advantage off. But it is a very aggressive hero. It's a hero designed around lane control, around lockdown, around getting the advantage early, and then riding that advantage for as long as possible. And Fraggots, their hard carry of choice is going to be a Lifestealer. It's a hero that has fallen off to some degree. There is no great Lifestealer bomb, combination, at least until Tidehunter gets his blink. Then you could blink in, Ravage, and Infest. That's a lot of damage right off the bat. Lifestealer, though, will do really well versus the high HP pool of the Undying. He's one of the few heroes that's able to at least fight Juggernaut for a little while Juggernaut's spinning in the early game, in case it does for some reason come down to a 1v1 scenario in the early stages. It's not a terrible hero overall, though. The Global Silence is going to be very devastating for him, especially when he's covering his eyes.
Prepare for battle.
You might want to see Lifestealer. I don't know why he decided this helmet would be a good idea. I feel like vision is important, unless you're Anti-Mage, who's blind, not deaf. But anyway, let's go over who's playing what. We got Bulldogs. Why is this camera going so weird whenever I click this portrait? I don't know. Bulldogs is going to be playing the mid lane Razor. Going up towards the top side, it is going to be Redemption playing the Lifestealer, supported by Simtex on the Jakiro, as well as Speedykun once again on the Vengeful Spirit. And then soloing on the bottom lane, it is going to be Respect playing that Tidehunter. Looks like he's going to be up against, at the very least, Zicoli playing the solo offlane Undying. Ultros is going to be on the Viper, supporting on top lane, Spoonguard on the Silencer. With these items are just getting out of control. I mean, this guy, just cover your mouth. You can only see my eyes and my nose. He's going to be playing the Silencer. Exile is going to be on the Crystal Maiden. And Priapus is going to be playing that Juggernaut. So, solo offlane Undying. I can't say I've ever seen this before. I don't even think I've seen it, ever before. Even in my games, I don't know if I've seen it. But versus a Tidehunter, and as far as melee heroes go, it's not the worst. He will still lose, and he won't be able to duel the Tidehunter. But if he decays the Tidehunter, then the Tidehunter will also lose damage. Not as much, but some. So yeah, this lane is going to be... Oh. Okay. Well, never mind. He's going to get Kraken to level 1. This lane should be slightly favored in the Tidehunter. Slightly Tidehunter favored. Yes, that's what I want to say. Taking a look at this mid lane, this is going to be happening all game long, though Razor will it'll probably benefit him to wait a little while, but the top lane is where all the action is going to be, because Vengeful Spirit already has an invisibility rune. Priapus, with his spin, is going to be the devastating force, and they see Speedykun. They knew exactly where he was, but the spin, it's a little bit out of range. Can they catch up? The spin, will it be enough? It will not, because Priapus decides to try to evade the ice path. I think if he just kept going, he probably could have brought her down, or at least brought her down a lot lower. So Sentry Ward and an Observer Ward both get placed down. Okay, it's a pretty good name for a ward. Spoonguard going to start chipping away with that Curse of the Silent and Redemption with the Open Wounds level 1, looking to make something happen. But the Poke Harassment from the Silencer, 600 range. He's going to be reigning supreme along with the CM. Vengeful only has 400, as does the Jakiro. Yeah, they both have 400. So the range advantage is being held right now and will continue to be held by the Give Mana side. Chipping at the mana pool, chipping at the health pools, with their spells, and eventually with those long distance right clicks. It's a matter of time before Priapus looks for another opening, because this chip damage is legit. I mean, you can't ignore that chip damage forever. Speaking of chip damage, you see how this mid lane is going. 5 for 5 on this Viper versus the 2 for 1. Bulldogs once again not getting the upper hand in this lane, being outlaned quite handily by this Viper in mid. Though the Viper is, to be fair, playing a little bit more defensive than I ordinarily would expect. When you play Viper, when I play Viper, it's just balls to the walls aggression. Just, if you see him, you should be attacking him with poison attack. Like right now, poison attack, poison attack, poison attack, easy game. But we're going to wait for that in just a little bit, taking a look at the other lane, 2-0 versus the 7-4. How the hell is Zicoli winning this lane? I mean, he does have a pretty big damage advantage. Okay, I guess -7 strength is enough. It turns out it's enough. Zicoli will actually handle this Tidehunter pretty decently, though Tidehunter didn't exactly do the best versus Faceless Void last game. So I think there may be a skill discrepancy involved here. You can't really say this matchup is this way. I have a strong feeling that there is a skill discrepancy, which is fine. I mean, that's kind of what you would expect, right? Kind of surprised that there's not that much aggression up on top side. Crystal Maiden is going to go level 2 into that aura. This is a game where I would expect a little bit more arcane aura. It's a lot better in this particular game, because the Viper is a heavily mana reliant hero, though for some reason he's at full mana. That is just wrong on so many levels. Meantime, top lane, Pirepus is going to start spinning. He's going to catch Redemption. He's going to catch Speedy Kun as well. He's going to catch all three, but Spoonguard's dropping low very quickly. He's going to go down. The last word onto Lifestealer will bring him down to 60 HP. That's not going to be enough to kill him off. If they were focusing the Vengeful Spirit, would have been a kill, but what are you going to do? The spin, level 1, just not enough to get that kill. And Crystal Maiden is unable to help her equally soft silence her friend. So, the first kill not going the way I expect. And in the meantime, mid lane, there's the aggression, there's the mana pool. It should be at half at all times, or even less than half. You got Arcane Aura, spam that shit. So yeah, there we go. Viper should not be at full mana. That is just a crime against everything that's Viper related in the world. 5-2 is the score, and 6-1 Lifestealer. Not too much last hitting, as both teams kind of afraid of getting chipped out. Also, Juggernaut's last hit damage is pretty bad, but he dodges a missile, and he's going to go for Speedy Kun. He's going to shred him very easily, but he will go down in exchange. The damage from Jakiro, plus the Lifestealer, just enough to kill him off. It's a 1-for-1, not a trade that, please, Caleb Give Mana, actually want to make. But I think they're going to be okay, at least a little bit okay, with how this lane on top side is going, because Tidehunter is getting utterly demolished in the bottom lane. Middle lane 13-for-5 versus 16-for-2, it's a wash. So as long as they keep some control over this mid lane, over this top lane rather, they should be fine. And the problem is that Priapus is having a lot of difficulty in actually last hitting here, as he misses another one that was uncontested entirely. So, I mean, Juggernaut, you kind of need to get these last hits. It's kind of important to get gold. He misses another one, and he gets one. There you go. So this might end up costing him in the future, though. It's a good thing Juggernaut doesn't actually need that much. Very spell-independent hero. Priapus going to preemptively start spinning. There is a magic missile still available. Liquid Fire will burn down a little bit, though not too much. Priapus does have enough mana for one more spin. This Arcane Aura from Exile this time, I think going level 2 probably will still be overkill. I mean, level 1 Aura is keeping Viper at full mana. It's keeping the Juggernaut at very high amounts of mana, at least very functional amounts of mana. So going for the Nova in this situation, when you're up against a tri-lane, oh, you're killing me, Exile. You're killing me, bro. Why? I mean, look at this mana. I guess you could say now they could spam even more. But they're going to try to go for Redemption. He should just be able to rage out of it. Stun going out to Exile, but the spin is going to happen onto Speedy Kun. He's going to go down right away. Priapus will get his wounds opened up, and the Redemption damage is pretty high. Priapus going to try to run. He has a salve. He can use it, but the Liquid Fire will cancel any effects. No, the Liquid Fire damage is too low. It's only level 1. It's only level 2, but either way, he will be able to salve through it, and it will be a free kill. And here comes Ultros. I called him Ultron before. Avengers 2, Age of Ultron, and Semtex. Oh, there he is! Turn around! Get him! Get him! You have boots and he doesn't. Oh, yeah, he does have boots, but you have better boots. Got him. 1 level of poison attack. Actually, level 4. Not ordinarily what you would see. Usually it's more Nether Toxin, a little bit more Corrosive Skin. And Corrosive Skin not going to help you too much against a Razor, though 3 levels of Plasma Field. I changed my mind. I would have gotten 1, maybe 2 levels of Corrosive at this point, but either way, if he did have, another 1 point Nether Toxin instead of 1 point Poison Attack, that would have been a kill anyway, so Small distinctions that, in the end, make absolutely no difference. And Zicoli, these levels of aura, as he gets his arcane boots and uses them for no mana regain. Okay, Exile, listen up, man. Your team is full on mana. You don't need this mana. This is fine. This amount of mana on your allies is perfectly reasonable. Get Crystal Nova. Because if you don't, your teammates might just die. There's another spin, but the Crystal Nova, the Frostbite, will get dispelled immediately. And Exile will be punished. Okay. You've had your fun, Exile. No more aura. Please, no more aura. Your team isn't that mana reliant. And Juggernaut always has mana for a spin. When does that ever happen on a Juggernaut? That never happens. Bulldog has moved up to the top lane. Ganking Razor, not the best, especially with only level 1 static link. The level 3 Plasma Field could still put some serious hurt into Silencer, not as much into Priapus. He's been pretty good about dodging these stuns from Speedykun. And Speedykun is a long way off until his swap, so Priapus should not be in too much danger right now. There are still 4 heroes here, and they should know about it. Ultros is holding down the mid lane all the while. He's going for an Aquila, it looks like. No, he's going to rush him back. But Priapus gets stunned. When I said he was good about dodging stuns, he's going to start spinning away, but the Orb of Venom will slow him down just a little bit. Crystal Nova will slow down Redemption, as will the Frostbite. Bulldogs will pop off his ultimate. Here comes Ultros. Will land the Viper Strike on a Bulldog. I think this might be a dead Razor. Yes, it will in fact be. Regen Rune, not going to help you one bit. Healing Ward, keeping everyone up, and they want a little bit more, but it's not going to happen. Zicoli teleporting into this one to do pretty much nothing but pop his ultimate, which wasn't even in range of anything, but, you know, sometimes you just gotta send a message. There's 5 heroes up in this top lane. Are they going to push? This pushing is not the best, especially with a semi-unconvincing fight like that, so I mean, they'll be able to chip away at the tower a little bit, but they're probably not going to get this tower. Tidehunter can teleport in and then mess up their day. But it looks like more aggression on top side. Another tombstone gets laid down, and Simtex is going to get hit pretty hard by those zombies. Speedykun as well. I mean, level 4 tombstone is the real deal. They're just going to keep wailing at this tower. Where is this Tidehunter? Please, respect, come up to this top lane and ravage everybody. That came out a little bit differently than I thought, but still, that's what he should be doing. Another healing ward gets dropped and the tower will be brought down. No response at all from the Fraggots. The Speedykun drops really, really low. Bulldog's going to try to get a static link going on Zicoli. Won't really matter too much, and Dying's right clicks, not exactly his biggest threat. But they do take the tower regardless, and Tidehunter... Hey guys, is there a party here? Slowpoke Tidehunter misses the push completely. Now I guess it is okay, because he was getting more money for his Blink Dagger, which he is almost at. So... especially considering his really bad start versus Undying, he kind of needed the free lane for a little bit. But that's at the cost of your tier 1 tower. It's not the most important tower in the game, but it's still a tower that you could have contested that you decided not to. So I don't know if I would have agreed exactly with this. So it's 3 to 5, 10 minutes in. Juggernaut looks like he's going to go for drums, but Ultros, with his mechanism, really going to be the driving force for the give mana side. Also, this Undying level 8 has yet to really... he hasn't really been used for his full potential. I feel like there's a lot of wasted potential there. He could be going a lot more aggressive. Just as a team, I feel like the Dire could be going a lot more aggressive versus the Radiant. On top lane, maybe showing some respect. I think that's smart. Redemption, meantime, getting Viper struck. He will be completely fine, however. He'll have to go back to the base. But I think with Healing Ward, it's only level 1. Yeah, maybe if it was level 2 instead of this point in Blade Dance, I would say start pushing these towers. I mean, you're going to be fighting into Ravage one way or another. You have a mech right now, so it should be tower time. It should be tower time. Juggernaut's not getting that much farm in top lane because he's missing the last hits, guys. But Undying now level 9 versus level 8 Tidehunter. This Undying, the longer that there are no kills going on, the less effective Undying is going to be. Because, you know, Decay with 4 Strength Steal, you would think that it would provide equal benefits at all times in the game. But when the enemies only have like 20 Strength, when you steal 4, it hurts and they can feel it. So the longer he waits, the less effective Decay is going to be, the less effective the Tombstone damage is going to be. Overall, the hero just gets less and less effective come late game. So, I mean, yes, getting him a little bit of farm so we can tank up is going to be a nice and everything, but it's going to lose you the game as well. So they are on a clock. If they don't realize it, then they're going to be in some serious trouble, because Lifestealer, come late game, is going to be almost the undisputed heavyweight on the map. Juggernaut, with a Omni Slash, can contest somewhat. Viper also somewhat, but Viper's not going to be doing much damage. He's going to go for a utility build. Juggernaut is way behind in the farm department, so look at that. It's actually Fraggots who are going to be taking the first step in the pushing, or the second step rather. Liquid Fire on the tower, slowly start to chip that away, but both teams playing it slow, playing it safe, playing it boring. Juggernaut, Undying, do they have Global Silence? Okay, maybe get Global Silence. That's the threshold, right? Get Global Silence, push and win. This Tidehunter still doesn't have a Blink Dagger, and looks like they might want to mount a defense, start some sort of fight on this bottom lane. Oh, you're killing me, CM. You're killing me. Level 3. Let's take a quick look at the mana pools. Full, full, pretty much full, full, and pretty much full. I mean, he's not getting any value out of those points. It's completely and utterly wasted. Respect, being stalked by an invisible poisonous snake. But I think Semtex is the one who's really being stalked right now. No, never mind, it's Respect. Here comes the Viper Strike and the damage. He does have a Ravage, however, Omni Slash might dodge it. There's Ravage, will hit onto everyone. Ravage will go jump to the Tidehunter in the end. Spin now on Jakiro. He will go down Zicoli, meantime being willed upon by Redemption, as well as Speedy Kun. Tombstone will start to stack up some serious zombies. Will get healed due to that death, and the healing ward still doing so much. Speedy Kun is now going to house a Lifestealer, but for how long? Redemption gets tagged with the poison, and he's going to get chopped down. He has no escape from this one. It's a double kill for Ultros. It's a 5-for-1 exchange. And Undying. That is the power of Undying. That is the power of only a level 1 healing ward, providing so much value to the Dire because no one was focusing it. You got to focus that healing ward, guys. It is a good skill. And Undying, I mean, taking all the hits and decaying is exactly what you want to do as Undying. At a certain point, it won't be really feasible because you'll die in like 3 hits versus the Lifestealer. But that point might not even come in this game. He might just be strong enough for the rest of the game if the Dire, if giff mana can play their cards right, and they should be able to end the game before Undying gets to that point of vulnerability. And that should be their game plan. That should be their game plan, to play in such a way so that the game is over by the time the Undying is that vulnerable. We'll see if they are successful in doing so, but it's still up in the air. Global Silence now is up on the Silencer. Has stolen a little bit of intelligence for himself. Not really the biggest deal in the world. No hugely mana-crippled heroes, or mana-reliant heroes on the Fraggots side. I mean, Lifestealer you need mana, Tide you need mana, but if you lose 2 here and there, it's not going to make and break the hero. It's not like an Earthshaker or something like that, where every mana point counts. Carapace will go for an Aghanim Scepter, and whoa, Ultros will get a solo kill on the bottom lane. Will get whipped pretty hard by Bulldogs, though. Only level Static 1 Link. Never mind, Ultros could just book it. Static Link level 1. Yeah, you max out that skill against Viper, so he won't do any damage to you, but you all do all the damage to him. And now Omni Slash up in 5, 4. They get any poison on these guys, it will be huge. The Flesh Golem, okay. You show him. That'll learn him. Gotta force him back with that Flesh Golem. I mean, if you don't look scary, then the enemy isn't gonna retreat. That's just the art of war right there. They push out the bottom lane a little bit. Don't use that much. I mean, Flesh Golem is it's a decent enough skill, but it's not gonna make or break your team fight. They didn't use a Global Silence or an Omni Slash or anything like that, so that's completely fine. But it looks like they're gonna fight regardless. They feel strong enough. They have the mech, and they should feel strong enough. They do spot Semtex. Do they have any long-range initiation? They really don't. The initiation is run at the enemies and hope it works. And, well, the running at the enemies part worked. It didn't lead to a fight, though. So, that's not the best. Okay, now they're going to fall back for realsies. This is the real fallback. And we have a pause. Take a quick look at the items while we are paused. We got nothing on Bulldogs. Why does he have nothing? I don't understand why he doesn't have anything. He should be going for a mech. The mech is already up on Viper, and then a point booster. And to be fair, there is a huge kill discrepancy, but the farm on Razor hasn't really been all too impressive. 50 CS and only phase boots. 3 deaths doesn't exactly help, to be fair, though. Nothing on these two supports. Blink Dagger and 50 gold. Tidehunter really doesn't want to fight right now. Drum still being built up by the Lifestealer as well. Oh, it's completed on the Juggernaut. Point Booster up on him as well. Going to be 2 Aghanims at the very least coming up for the Dire side in the upcoming minutes of the game. Viper well on his way to his. So he'll be able to spam out that Viper Strike whenever he damn well pleases. And Exile still with 3 points in aura. Wah, wah. But it's fine. It's fine. They have Global Silence, and I think that the Dire could take a fight pretty much no matter what. Unless they get 5-man Ravaged, but even then, it's like, who's doing the damage after that? There is no damage output after that. Razor with a Plasma Field, and he's done. He has no Static Link. There's no really lasting damage that they could put out. Because Lifestealer, he has maxed out Open Wounds. That's a pure laning build, it's a pure initiation build. Which isn't bad, I'm just saying that he doesn't have the Rage attack speed that he really needs, nor the Feast extra physical damage that he needs. So that, you know, Open Wounds, they're slow, but they're going to walk away regardless. Especially when they have Healing Wards, when they have a lot of tankiness in the Undying, who should be getting a big item soon. Ah, there we go. A Vit Booster is big enough, I would say. 1200 HP Undying is going to be pretty hard to cut through, especially when that HP pool just grows because of decay. Keep in mind, guys, that this is the UGC League second game out of the best of 2, with the Dire being up 1-0 in this series. More info can be found ugcleague.com. And we are going to get this game back on the road. We'll see where giff mana actually want to go with this one. Mid lane tower should be the objective. Fraggots, they will, I think at this point they should still want to contest it, but I don't think they're capable of it. If they get a Blink Dagger on Tide before this push, then they should be able to, but this push is happening, and Tide is still 10 gold away. 10 very small gold pieces away from that Blink Dagger. He won't have it by the time this fight is, or this tower is down. I'm wrong, he does have it by the time the tower is down, but it's irrelevant, so I'm kind of right anyway. It's a free tower, and then what? They have only level 1 Healing Ward still, instead going for Blade Dance. I'd rather see them get Healing Ward right now. Honestly, the Fraggots don't really have the attacks to spare when they're, as far as killing Healing Wards off. They could go for Roshan, they have a mech, they have Global Silence, they could smoke up and try to force a fight right now. As long as they don't sit back and farm, that's a great way of letting the Fraggots back into this one. And Caleb Give Mana will be throwing away a pretty sizable lead. I mean, not only golden experience, but also team comp. Their team comp is designed in such a way so that at this point in the game, 20 minutes in, they are going to be all the strongest heroes on the map. Except for Silencer, and except for Crystal Maiden, who somehow is still going for Arcane Aura, even though everyone has a full mana pool on the team. Look how much value she's getting out of that. I guess you could spam your spells on creeps. I guess. I don't know if you guys could hear that. It's pretty loud. There are fireworks going on. Because it was raining on the 4th, so that's why there's fireworks now, which is the 6th. Did it say the 6th? I think it is. They're going to farm the enemy jungle, but again, the longer the Dire wait, the less and less powerful they become. And they are getting items. Are they getting items at a faster rate? They are, because they have a gold advantage. You know, the net worth reflecting that advantage. The highest net worth hero is the Razor, who just now picks up a Yasha. So it's not exactly stellar farm from this Razor. But Priapus leaves the lane, goes top. It's always a little bit concerning whenever I'm in this chair and I see a team comp that is designed for very early aggression and they're not going. Like, it pains me kind of. It's like, you have a lineup that does one thing really well. Why don't you guys go do it? I understand that they're a little bit scared of this Ravage, but if you're scared of the Ravage, then later on you're still going to be scared of the Ravage, and then you're going to be scared of the Razor and Lifestealer. There's no good way to fight up against a Ravage. You just kind of got to go for it, unless you are trying to pick them off, but that's also not happening. Split push is slow, and with this comp is not going to be going very well. They see Respect, they see Simtex, and Exile is not able to do anything because it's a level 8 Maiden with no damage. He's going to get a Frostbite on Simtex. There's the Ice Path. The Global Silence, though, canceling off the Ravage. Can they kill off this Tidehunter before he gets his Ravage off? They will be able to do so. Also, the Freezing Field doing literally no damage, but that's fine because Speedykun, if he gets tagged with poison, any poison at all, then he is going to go down. But it looks like it'll just be a Tidehunter down. A Tidehunter in exchange for a Global Silence is perfectly worth it because top lane is being pushed, bottom lane should also be pushed. That should be 2 towers down. Fortification will slow the top lane push down, and well, let's see if Speedykun and Simtex could do anything about this. I am doubtful. Blade Fury up on top lane. Omni Slash the Razor? Omni Slash the Razor? Omni... why does he now not have level 2 Omni Slash? What are you doing? Priapus, why? Priapus. There's the level 2 Omni Slash. If he leveled up Omni Slash and then just used it on the Razor, Razor would be dead right now, and they could continue their push. I don't know what happened. Okay, keep in mind that Omni Slash, when you are not doing the extra attacks, always does the fixed amount. It deals 200 to 225 per slash. You could put in extra attacks in, which, you know, depending on how much damage the Razor steals from you, could just mean 0 damage. But that was a dead Razor. That's 6 jumps with 200 damage a pop. There's 1,000 HP. You could hit him once after to seal the deal, but come on, Priapus. Come on, man. Well, Undying's dead, so that push is going to be delayed for just a little longer. Are they really going to wait for... why are they waiting? Are they really going to wait for another Global Silence? Go for Roshan at least, guys. Come on. Killing me here. Mistakes were made. They're just sitting back. They're letting this Lifestealer farm. They're letting this Razor get bigger items. He's going to get a... usually you see Yasha into BKB, but Sanjin Yasha is also not terrible on Razor. They are getting some big items on Viper, but these items are completely irrelevant if you don't attack the enemy. Go attack them, just straight push in, you're fine, you'll win any team fight. Alright, Speedykun, he wants to make something happen, thinking about the swap. But he's spotted out, and he's going to be fine. This is Ultros' initiation range, by the way, in case anyone was wondering. Aghanim Scepter does make your ultimate have an obnoxiously long range. So they could win any chip battles very handily. Like, if they get stalled out in this area, if they're like, oh, we'll push in, and then the creep wave gets pulled all the way back here, a Viper Strike, and, you know, someone's going to drop to about a third of their HP down. So Ultros should look to start spamming the crap out of that skill. Otherwise, again, why'd you get the Aghanim Scepter? It's doing nothing right now. Literally doing nothing. This is painful to watch, guys. Slow and steady does not always win the race. Sometimes you just gotta be the rabbit as opposed to the turtle. Or tortoise? Hare? Hare is rabbit. Tortoises are different from turtles. So you have to be the hare, which are rabbits, instead of the tortoise, which are like land turtles. At least that is my understanding of the story of the tortoise and the hare. That tortoises are land turtles. That was the ultimate deduction I've had from that story. Well, the push gets staved off once again. The throws. I'm not saying that they're losing. I'm saying that if they continue to play like this, they will end up losing. Oh, guys, come on, just make a push. Sitting back it gets farm on heroes that are vastly inferior in the late game. I guess they're just trying to ride their net worth advantage out, but Viper, he's getting some good items, but he has an item that will win him the game right now. Or like almost win you the game, win you almost any fight with the Aghanim Scepter. Dropping a Viper Strike every like 10 seconds, something like that, 12 seconds. It's backbreaking, it really is, especially since it does go through Rage of the Lifestealer. It goes through BKB. And Lifestealer now has a new home. Although his new home might just explode very, very shortly.
Tower is under attack.
No, it won't. Because Speedykun's going to run into Ultros. There's the global silence as Respect does jump in for absolutely nothing once again. The Undying right on the front lines, amplifying so much damage. Respect going to drop before he uses Ravage. And now the freezing field. Redemption is going to try to run away. Going to try to TP, but the Viper Strike, the Nether Toxin damage, it's too much. They take a fight. Go figure. Who would have thought? And now please tell me they could take a tier 2 tower. They should be able to. They have a healing ward up. Yes, they do. Only level 1 still. Omni Slash not even used there. And Viper Strike, look at that. It's up again. What a great skill with that Aghanim Scepter. This tier 2 tower is as good as dead. Razor's the only one to escape from that. I don't even know if Razor was in that fight, to be honest.
Bottom tower is under attack.
At least his impacts, if they were not tangible at all. Tower goes down, and I think mid lane should be next order of business, or Roshan.
Bottom tower.
Roshan probably would be better. I mean, they have an Omni Slash, so they could keep looking to fighting, but they know that the Tidehunter Ravage is still up because they denied it last fight. So either you respect the Ravage or you just YOLO dive. YOLO diving might get them killed. So I think that's why Roshan and setting up wards and going for Roshan is a little bit safer, but Priapus, spin, don't spin, Ravage onto everyone. Priapus dropping very low, very quickly. He's going to go down first. Omni Slash, though, going to put out as much damage as he possibly can before he dies, but he will, in fact, go down to the tower. Exile on the way out, and Bulldogs just on the front lines, zapping down everyone. 2 HP on him. He's going to slip away, bottling up as he does leave. Viper now going to try to go for redemption in a 1v1. 1v1, bro. Still does have the mech. Why do you still have the mech, Ultros? That better have just come up on cooldown. Redemption might get hit with another Viper Strike, but there's no more mana on Viper. But the Nether Toxin doesn't care about mana. He's now going to try to go for Bulldogs. It's an ultra kill for Ultros. And only the Vengeful Spirit is going to live out of that fight. Wow. What a hero. Viper is so balanced. One of my favorites, this guy. You kind of see why, because he doesn't give a damn. No mana is kind of inconvenient, and I feel like he probably could have mech'd his allies, but he didn't. So, you know, shame on you, Ultros. You went for that greedy play, got your allies killed for an ultra kill. Was it worth it? Was it worth it, man? It probably was worth it, let's be honest. You can't resist an ultra kill like that. You just can't. Now he has a Manta Style up, or he will have Manta Style up shortly. They push into a Ravage, and things go the worst that they have gone for the entire game, but now they have the pure advantage. They have Omni Slash up, Global Silence up as well, and they have objectives laid out on the map. Unfortunately for them, Ultros is kind of far away and doing his own thing. They kind of need this Viper to start to be fighting any of these chip fights. Or they could just go for a very low tower. And no, don't Global Silence, this dude's dead. There goes a beyond godlike streak. Jakiro is now rolling in the dough. It's at the cost of a tower, but a tower and a Viper, a Viper and a Global Silence for a tower, not worth it at all. 11 to 20, still the advantage is being held by the Fraggots in a big way. But the team comp is just not in their favor. They are still on the clock. Mid lane tower looks like it will be defended. Oh, Silencer, that's a bad idea, Silencer, but he cancels the TP. Suddenly it's a better idea. Omni Slash still available, will land onto Redemption. Will he kill him off? All those slashes, Redemption barely getting out of there with 50 HP. Bulldog might drop, but he's going to survive as well. Speedykun, is he going to drop? Please tell me someone's going to die. Dual Breath onto Priapus and Vengeful Spirit. Okay, the only one to die is the Lifestealer, who finally goes down to the Undying somehow, and then Priapus chases down the Vengeful Spirit. Man, that was a lot more trouble than it's worth. I don't know how Undying got a...
Dire's bottom tower is
What?
under attack.
Lifestealer got away. How did he die? Did he... No. Undying was here. Lifestealer was here.
Dire's bottom tower has
I don't frickin' know, guys. I don't know what happened, but either way,
been under attack.
they didn't have Global Silence. The enemy team didn't have Ravage, though. They do have Ravage now. And Give Mana are finally starting to kick this aggression into gear. It only took them 29 minutes. Tower's going to go down. Actually, they all get hit by a Ravage. Plasma Field as well as a Coley. He doesn't have a pipe just yet. He's going to not drop a Tombstone or anything. He's just going to try to run. And Priapus getting blocked by a Tidehunter. Has Phase Boots. Has an Omni Slash. Omni Slash him. Omni Slash him. Why? Its cooldown is 70 seconds. By the time you respawn and get back into a fight, or in a fighting position, you'll have it again. There's really not much to lose. Not much to gain either, to be fair. You could slow down this push, perhaps. There's a Global Silence up again. And Viper, still with a full tank of mana. The level 4 Arcane Aura, it all makes sense now. Start throwing those ultimates, Viper. There you go. Gonna connect onto Speedy-kun. Frostbite as well. This Venge is so dead. Another -2/+2 Swing of Intelligence. Boonguard getting a little bit smarter. He's been hitting the books. They catch a Vengeful Spirit for free. Not for free. At the cost of their tier 1 tower mid. It's an important Roshan tower, but it's not too big a deal. Now Ultros. Smoked up. Bulldogs. He's dead. Viper Strike and Exile. Go around. Go around. Frostbite. Nova. Kill this Razor. Got him. Razor farming just a little bit too safely. Or, safely in quotation marks. In his own jungle. Now with Razor down for another 45 seconds. Global Silence up. Ravage on the enemy team down. That is the best possible time to start looking for an objective. Looks like the objective first and foremost is going to be that Roshan. I think putting it on the Viper is probably the way to go. And like Juggernaut, he's going to live for a long time just with his Omni Slash. As long as he doesn't get completely chain stunned. But we even saw him get chain stunned and still have enough HP to Omni Slash. If he doesn't get open upon, if he has time to drop a healing ward or anything like that, then he'll for sure have enough time to Omni Slash, even if he gets locked down completely. But either Priapus or Ultros, both of those two heroes will do some pretty heavy lifting, even if once they get the Aegis. It looks like it will be Ultros. He's moving in for it. Yes, Roshan for Viper, regen to fill the tank, or not. Juggernaut don't need no HP. Juggernaut's a strong orange guy who don't need no man. That didn't go where I wanted it to go, but now because of that Roshan, Ravage is up. Can Ultros' Aegis make a difference? I mean, it obviously will, but it might not, it's not obvious that it will. Sometimes when you have a tanky hero like this Viper holding an Aegis, everyone on the team dies, and then Viper dies, and then he respawns, and he's like, alright, let's do this. Oh wait, my team is dead. Shit, I'm dead too. That's the worst case scenario, obviously, but sometimes it happens. Healing Ward, they're going to clear some Ancients. I really hope that Give Mana don't fall into the lull of, we're just going to chill for just a little bit longer. Because they have so much momentum right now. They have the Aegis Global Silence pipe now up on Zicoli. This is the time to shine, and this is a great person to shine on. Although he's fast. He's damn quick, and he doesn't have gold for a TP scroll. Get a taxi. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, guys. Melee creep. Here he comes. Don't deny, guys. Don't deny the creeps. Actually, deny these creeps, but don't... Yeah, okay, whatever. He's going to get a Viper Strike onto Respect. There's the Global Silence. Can they burst down Silencer? He Kraken shells the Ravage, but why? Simtex is slowed down. Omni Slash onto the two supports. They're both dead. Lifestealer is booking it the other way. He's like, you guys distract them. I'll run this way. This Tidehunter, he could have Ravaged. It would have been a Panic Ravage. There was really not much follow-up there. But I don't know. I think it probably still could have been worth it. And now the Lifestealer, he's running from two supports, a Crystal Maiden and a Silencer. In the meantime, top lane is in full breach. Another Viper Strike onto Bulldogs. Static Field punishing him a little bit, but not nearly enough, I don't think. Punishing enough. It's just enough. Viper Strike not up yet. Aghanim Scepter Viper Strike isn't that imba. Healing Ward is down. Blink Ravage still a possibility. But can the Fraggots actually defend at this point? I mean, if Blink Ravage is going to land on everyone, almost everyone, it will land on everyone. Can they kill off Priapus? They're actually going to focus their attention between him and Zicoli. And Priapus is just going to go to town. Now going to start the spin. Has another Omni Slash in 10 seconds, but Bulldogs is going to be the first one to go down. Exile sitting in the fire, channeling the Freezing Field. Doesn't give a damn because the Healing Ward is still alive. So that's still only level 1. No, it's level 4 at this point, thank God. Omni Slash now available. Simtex is going to get slapped down. Exile going to try to go toe-to-toe with the big Tidehunter. Balls of steel on this Crystal Maiden, and he might pay the price. Has a Yule Scepter. Yule yourself. Yule yourself. Yule yourself. You just... Okay. Okay, it's fine. It's fine, because they got top racks. And they also are going to get another kill as Priapus using an Omni Slash for just that lifestealer kill, and the GG has been called. 14-32. It took a little while, but it did end regardless in their favor. Caleb Giff Mana is going to take the Series 2-0 UGC League. I think the Iron Division, NA Iron, yes, is going to put Caleb Giff Mana firmly on top of the stack. So thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed this cast, be sure to follow, first of all the UGC League channels. It's UGC League 2, 3, and I believe there's a 4 also. And if you liked my casting, then you could find me over at twitch.tv/Mikelorus. @Mikelorus is also my Twitter handle, and I would really appreciate if you would do that. But for now, guys, that is going to be all. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you guys next time. It's okay, don't play. Now play. Yeah, later, guys.